Hey guys, I'm happy to be here with you all again. It is me, Katrina Loco, with Bold and Unique Living with Katrina Loco. And what I'm doing here on Instagrams are quick clips, letting you get to know me. So when you're watching the television show or listening to the podcast or reading our magazine, you'll be like, oh yeah, I know her. Pretty much, like her. Yeah, I think you all like me. I want to talk to you today about something very important that I learned. I learned this a long time ago. Every job that we have, every business venture that we go on, every journey that we take should be a learning experience, and you should be learning something out of it. And this is something that's very near and dear to my heart because we don't think of it like this. We, kind of discount it, or we don't value what I'm about to talk about. And it's talking about data management. Yes, data management. You all know that most of your data gets sold, right? And we're not talking about that, not about the tech part. Just hold on just a minute. But your data gets sold, and then these companies get it, and then they're pestering you, and maybe some of you want that, and maybe there's something in some of that pestering that you like, and you click and buy or whatever. But anyway, it's still your personal data. It's still your personal data. Well, I want to talk about the data of someone's heart today. When people come to you and entrust you with their data, they're entrusting you to keep it safe. They're entrusting you not to sell it to the highest bidder or to the seekers. They're entrusting you to keep it and keep it under lock and key. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? I had a position one time, right? And I was handling thousands and thousands of individuals' data. When I mean their data, I mean their heart, their soul, their tears, their kids, their credit cards, their access to information about them that is so intimate, so intimate. And Papa and I were talking, and I was like, I really appreciate having a job, but this is really not the job that I asked for. So why am I at this job again? Why am I at this job again? Really, why am I at this job again? He's like, you're not at this job because you need to make money. You're at this job because I need to teach you a lesson. I need to show you something, because where I'm taking you after this job requires you to put this into play. And I'm like, okay, I'll play along. And for you guys know that I'm just not taking my relationship with Papa just like it's just something common, but it is common. And that's another time. It is common. We're close. That's my right arm. That's my ride or die. That's my everything. And I don't make a move without him. Okay? So let me say that. But anyways, he told me that he was teaching me something at this place that I would need to use where I'm going, right? And he said, remember this, I'm giving you the shepherd's rod, but do not harm the sheep. And me, his baby girl, was like, but what does that have to do with data and this job and the fact that I have to pay my bills? Okay, so then I kept my mouth shut and I accepted the job. And all this data was coming in about people and everything about them, intimate details that if was leaked out, it could damage them. Not that they were doing anything illegal, let me get that straight. But it's personal information that is personal. And so he was teaching me that, and I was teaching it. And so when it was about time, after the year and a half that I was there, and it was about time for me to leave, and I had put in my resignation and told them. So my boss said, well, could you stay on an extra month to train the other person? I was like, sure. They had been so good to me. Matter of fact, they had went above and beyond anything at this job. And I'm like, wow, I never had a job like this. These people actually value me. They pay me higher than what I ever expected. They treat me like family. They share their personal information with me. That's not even supposed to be happening. We're doing life together. I've never had a job that we done that. This is just so different. And so when I was training the other person, I found myself telling them the first day of training, I looked her in the eye and I was like, you know what? I just realized everything that I have been learning here, and this is what I want to share with you. This data that you're about to see is very precious. It's very, very precious, and you should keep it under lock and key. When you leave this job every day after seeing this data, you remember it no more. You don't talk about it, you don't share it, you just don't do anything with it. Value it like it's your own, because guess what? Somewhere in somebody's data bank, it is your own data. And you would want it kept under lock and key. You don't want it out and about. You don't want it just being displayed, made fun of, picked on, whatever the case may be. And I told her that, and she was like, "You're real serious about this?" I said, "Yes, I am real serious about it." And I was like, and I got real serious about it. Being here, I understand some things now. So leaving that job, like 6 months later, my pastor had asked me to be pastor over one of the departments at our church. And I was like, absolutely. So all these women started coming to me, telling me their information, their intimate details. And God reminded me, remember, I told you, I'm giving you the shepherd's rod, but do not harm the sheep. And remember, I taught you that the data is very precious, and you should keep it under lock and key. I'm telling you this today because many of you in this next season will be entrusted with the data on people's heart, with their emotions, the things that they think that they probably never will tell anybody else, but they're trusting you to keep it under lock and key. You become a most valuable asset, a most valuable resource when you learn to manage, maintain, and keep other people's data. You become something more mature when you learn to keep others people's data. It's not about how much knowledge that you have. Sometimes it's not even about the applied knowledge that you have. That's not what makes your character. What makes your character and personality so credible is when you learn to keep other people's data. That means you have to keep your mouth shut. That means you have to close your ears to unnecessary conversations that you don't need to hear about circumstances, situations, other people. You don't need to hear those things. Especially if you have a strong prophetic gift, any prophetic gift. Well, anybody don't need to be listened to it, but if you have a prophetic gift, those conversations, you don't need to be having them because it could taint what you need to hear from the Spirit, okay? The Spirit. But being trusted with someone's data is very precious. And that means that Papa can trust you. So be mindful that. Understand that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are bold and unique. I want you to rip off every label placed on you, especially the ones that you place on yourself. Have a bold and unique day. And remember, be the one that could be trusted with someone's data.